Are you currently keeping track of all those recurring activities that may happen within your firm? A couple of examples could be maybe reviewing payroll, maybe you have to review billing, and maybe some other things that happen on a monthly, quarterly, or maybe a yearly basis for your firm. If not, in today's video, we're going to show you how to achieve that directly inside of your Wealthbox CRM in ways that you can build out customization so that you can start tracking and then eventually delegating these tasks off to other team members at your firm. Hi, my name is Matthew, and at Advisor Tech Partners, we help firms build out workflows, brainstorm processes that may need to be added, and also introduce automations to where it can definitely benefit you and your team to save time and build efficiencies. If you enjoy the content and you also want to see other Wealthbox related content, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as like this video, as we produce a lot of content just for advisors just like yourself who utilize Wealthbox CRM. So now going into Wealthbox CRM, we have our company page contact pulled up. Now, if you don't have your company's page already built out in your CRM, we always suggest that you build out your business as a business profile so that you can start tracking these recurring tasks that we can see on the right hand side. So to give you an example, we have a quarterly task here. Like, we would like to reach out to all of our center of influences just to check in on them every quarter, and we also like to just review billing before that happens, and our payroll before every 25th of the month. So you may have a process for reviewing, let's say, your billing on the accounts that you manage every quarter. And let's say you just remember, the end of the quarter is coming up, so you have to review it. Now is probably a good time to start getting those ideas down into your CRM as a recurring task. And we're going to show you exactly how you can do that next. Hey, it's Matthew. If you're looking to build workflows that actually work and help your firm scale and grow, please feel free to grab your copy of Mastering Strategies to Avoid the RA Disaster. The link will be in the description below. And if you're serious about building workflows, processes, and automations for your firm, let's connect. Schedule an intro call with us using the link in our description below, and we'd be more than happy to get to know you and your firm. All right, now back to the video. So in our CRM directly here, what I'm going to show you is that example here for payroll. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the existing activity that we have built out. But if you need to create a new activity here, what you're going to do is click on the task button and then just follow along with us with each of the fields here that we're going to be filling out and editing. So I'll go ahead and just check on this task that we already have built out. So what we have here is essentially a couple of different fields that we need to fill out. So the first one being payroll. So for an example, if you know that you're running payroll through your payroll provider like ADP, we suggest putting ADP up here directly. And then if there's maybe a subsection of ADP that you need to be in, you can also put that right after that, and then just give a very, very, very high level description of what needs to be accomplished. So again, in our case, we need to check payroll, and we need to make sure that any final edits need to be made before approving payroll for the month. And the reason for that is because internally here at Advisor Tech Partners, sometimes we contract some 1099 employees, and we just really have them there just for maybe a month, 2 months, and we'll put them on our billing cycle just in case, and again, just to have that final check. So in our due dates here, you'll see that this happens on a monthly basis. If I needed to edit this, you're going to have the option here directly to click on the repeats button, and you'll see that on your side that you can check the frequency of when this happens. So again, in our case here, this happens on a monthly basis. So we're clicking on monthly every 1 month, and then we're setting it to a specific day of the month. So it always happens, and our billing needs to be approved on, let's say, the 26th or the 27th. So I have this task built out for me on the 25th. So I'll go ahead and put day of the month, put the start date as the 25th, and Wealthbox here is just going to automatically pick up on the specific time and when this task should reoccur. So once you complete this one, you know it's going to relaunch every 25th of the month. So I'll go down here. If you need to put also an end date, you can always put an end date, but I know billing is going to go on because we don't have any plans to stop here. So we're going to continue and make sure that this never ends. So we'll go ahead and make sure that that information is filled out. We'll choose an assignee. Now, if you have a billing department, you may want to build them out as a team and then add it to the billing department. But if you just have one person at your firm that takes care of billing or maybe payroll, go ahead and just put that person there as the assignee. Next here, I'm going to say this is a very high priority. I need to make sure that this happens so people get paid so they can pay for their other personal expenses. So I want to make sure that this is a very high priority at our firm. And then next, the category that I chose here is monthly. So the reason why I created a custom category is because I want to see what are all the reoccurring monthly activities that are going to be happening within my organization. And again, the reason, or I guess the way to do that is really by creating your company's page, like your financial advisory firm's page within your Wealthbox CRM as a business profile. And then we'll show you how to create these custom categories here after we're done talking about building out this task. All right, so now we're going to move on to the description here, and this is an extremely important part of when you build out these reoccurring tasks. And the reason for that is because a lot of people just put in some blurb of text or maybe just nothing at all, and it doesn't really give any sense of direction as to what needs to be accomplished within your firm. You may be a solo entrepreneur, maybe a solo advisor, maybe one CSA, one admin, but you got plans to, expand, build out, grow your marketing channels. So this is a great way to set yourself up for success. So you want to build out two different main areas of your description in these reoccurring tasks. The first one is going to be a brief description that gets a little bit more into detail versus what you have in your task name. So in our example here, just like what I was verbalizing, I know that every 25th of the month, we need to check on payroll amount before we can actually approve it for any current employees and also those 1099 employees. I may want to add here too to check in the server to see any bills that have accrued for the past month. So that can be my indication here to say, hey, I know what information I need, I know why this needs to happen and when it needs to happen. So now we're going to go into the second part, which is just as important, is the standard operating procedure. Now, essentially, this is going to be your checklist of things that needs to happen for this task, and it gets very specific here. So I'll show you this example here just with the two steps. So the first step is to log into the payroll provider. You may know your login or you may know the URL to get to the payroll provider, but if you ask someone else at your firm, maybe they don't know where that link lives. Maybe they've never touched it. So if you are thinking about in the future when you want to delegate these minute things that you take care of at your firm to someone else, they are not going to know how to do it, where to do it, and when to do it. So this is really giving them that direction and you the peace of mind so that when you're ready to delegate, you can do it in an instant. The other thing we're going to want to take care of here is also being very descriptive as to what buttons and where in the screen am I clicking? Where am I supposed to be going to approve this payroll? So that is all going to be a part of your standard operating procedure that you build out. Now, we know a lot of firms find this very tedious, typing out the steps, and let's say you got a list of 20 different steps. If it gets that complex, we always suggest you utilize a, let's say, screen providing or screen capturing software like Loom. Loom's a great one. There's a lot of alternatives out there, but internally, when we know we have a long drawn out process and we don't want to type it out, we will just record a screen capturing video through Loom, and we'll just put the link directly into the SOP just as a reference so that someone can watch it visually and follow along if they have those two monitors up so they can run their payroll for the month. So once I am all done with building out the description of the task, building out the SOP, putting all of the specific parameters here, giving it a brief description for the task name, I'm going to go ahead and click on this green save button. The last thing that we're going to show you here and what you need to accomplish is how to build out those custom task categories. Now, specifically in Wealthbox, you're going to go ahead and click on the 3 dots on the top and then click on Settings. And then on the left-hand side here under Workspace, I'm going to go ahead and click on Customizations. So I will click on Customizations, and then under Customize Data, I'm going to go all the way down to the very last option here. It's going to be Task and Workflow Step Categories. So I'll click on that and you'll see that we have a lot of different ones built out, but here is where I'm looking for those reoccurring ones. So you can either choose to name this differently. Maybe you want to put reoccurring : weekly before it, but internally we know anything that is referenced to a time-bound reoccurring thing, it's going to be for a reoccurring task inside of our firm. So I'll go ahead and click on Create Category here, and I'll change the color to match what we already have existing. And let's say for some weird reason we had a task that has to happen every day. I'll go ahead and click on Daily and then click that green Save button. And then I'll just drag and drop it so it's in its order of when things need to be taken care of. Hey, thanks for sticking around towards the end of the video. If you enjoyed that content, why don't you also grab our ebook, Mastering Strategies to Avoid the RA Disaster. Again, it's completely free. All we're going to need from you is your email and your first name, and we'll send that to you via follow-up email. And also, if your firm is currently facing any of those CRM challenges, maybe you're not knowing how to build out these customizations, maybe you're starting to test around the waters with the first workflow, but you're not having any success, please feel free to schedule an intro call with us. We'd be more than happy to talk about those challenges that your firm is currently facing.